Hey, Carlos here from Life Coder. So in the next few minutes, I want to show you very quickly three powerful tools that we can use to help reduce and manage anxiety in as little as 10 days. And these three tools are: number one, the excitement hack; number two, the program. This is learning the anxiety program and becoming aware of it; and number three is trigger mapping. So let's first of all get cracking. Let's look at the excitement hack. Now, the reality is the physical symptoms, the physical response of anxiety and excitement are identical in the body. The body doesn't actually know the difference between the two. The only thing that's different is our perception. And this is what bridges how we identify with the physical responses of excitement or the physical responses of anxiety. And that perception is really important because anxiety creates a corruption of our perspective. Now, to go one step deeper, let's look at the symptoms of anxiety. We can have increased breathing. We can have sickness. We can have elevated heart rate. We can have the shakes. And we can even struggle with things like talking and communication. So that's on the anxiety side. That's what the body physically does when we feel anxious, when we enter a panic stage, when that anxiety takes over. Now, when we look at states of being super excited, and I mean really excited, what does the body do? Our breathing elevates. We can feel sick and nauseous by that sheer excitement. Our heart rate definitely increases. We can get shakes. We can get the sweats. We can get all jittery. And we can be so excited that talking gets really difficult. If you've ever observed a child really excited, they're going to demonstrate exactly those types of symptoms. So what happens in the body is the same. The difference is the perception between how we label anxiety versus excitement. So the tool that I'm giving here is basically to hack that, to create a pattern interrupt by, as soon as you experience any type of physical symptoms around anxiety, to say to yourself and keep saying to yourself, I'm excited that something is about to change. I cannot describe how powerful that is. If you use it every day for 10 days, every time you get any one of these symptoms here in the body, say to yourself, I'm excited, and feel that, connect with that excitement. There's something's about to change. It's going to feel unnatural to start with, but it's a very powerful tool. Use it really well and see the change that happens. The next powerful tool that I introduce to people with anxiety, generally in their first 10 days, is the concept, the awareness, and the insight that anxiety is a program. It is installed on your operating system, the same as an app on your phone, on your computer, or your tablet. When we first boot up our operating system, when we are born, is that app installed? No. And that's the real big question. Are we born with anxiety? It's a simple question, but that's enough to make you think. The reality is, every type of severe or mild or moderate or high functioning anxiety is a program that's been installed at some point in our lives, whether that's been acquired from our childhood or something we've developed as an adult to protect ourselves. The question we have to ask ourselves is, how do we close the program? That program has been operating in the background for way too long, causing way too much chaos. But now we can take control. We can close it. And by closing it, we can start to live some sort of normality in our life, and we can start to master our operating system. And by understanding our operating system, we can do the next really important thing, which is to uninstall that program. And that's the end goal. We want to be able to get to a situation where we are able to uninstall that program and remove it from our lives altogether. So the last powerful tool I want to show you around anxiety and reducing it in the next 10 days and taking control of it and creating a normal life again is trigger mapping. Now, the idea is really simple. We need to intervene and create a pattern interrupt into our anxiety so that we can break it into different chunks over the course of a day, over the course of a week. Because the reality is, for most people, anxiety runs unchecked and we just live in this soup of it. And that's unhealthy and is very difficult to manage. So one of the first things I help people to really get a grip on is mapping their triggers. So the first thing we need to do there is know that we have two types of triggers. We have internal triggers and we have external triggers. Internal triggers are in the mind. These are thoughts, images, visualizations, dreams, replaying a conversation, replaying a situation. It is all internal to us. External triggers are things people say, things people do, situations, our immediate environment, cars driving past, loud noises, unfamiliar smells, whatever it might be in the environment that we're in. So in order for us to create a little bit of more pattern interrupt with our anxiety, we need to acknowledge that we've been triggered, and then we need to actually start mapping what those triggers are and how they're interacting with us. So on a notepad, on your phone, on a piece of paper, all we're going to be doing at the end of each day, or even when we're triggered, is go straight to our chart here and we start running a tally of how many times we're triggered. And this is really, really important because it starts to bring your awareness together around when you're being triggered and starts to break down the way in which anxiety kind of captures you and holds you. Because the second you realize you're triggered, you reduce your recovery time. And I talk about recovery time in the workshop, which I'll talk about in a moment. So use this tool over the next couple of days and you'll be amazed at how it's just going to heighten your awareness and just put you in a little bit more control of anxiety. If you found any of this useful, please comment, share, because I want to spread these tools out as wide as possible, and because I know that there are millions of people dealing and trying to face anxiety on a day-to-day level, on a day-to-day basis. And if you want to know more about what I do and some of the content and the 3-day workshop, which I've just launched, then click the link around this video, have a read through, follow some of the stories of other people, and understand a little bit more about the methodology of life coding that I teach and share with people. And if you want to get involved, then you can always join the 3-day workshop. It's a brilliant workshop. It condenses 2 years worth of one-on-one coaching and mentoring from me personally into a very short and impactful series of videos that is just incredibly powerful for anyone that is experiencing anxiety, whether it's severe all the way through to the mild, or even to high-level panic attacks, or even high-functioning anxiety. So look, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will speak to you really soon, and yeah, reach out, comment, share, get involved.